on the yellow brick road trying to get to money. And then when they got there, they found out it was all a lie. Bishop Love, I am afraid that the modern church owes the contemporary church an apology. Because for the last 20 years, we have been teaching an erroneous prosperity gospel. That we told people that if you got favor, you can go get a new house. That if you're blessed, go get a car. But then the church got silent when the houses got foreclosed and the cars got repossessed. I can't hear nobody. See, the real sign of your favor is not what kind of cars you got, what kind of clothes you got. Favor is you got your right mind when you should have been crazy. You can't, anybody in here, you ain't got no money, but you got the joy of the Lord. I want you to get this message, the gospel of the Wizard of Oz. Here it is. Steve Harvey, he's a noted radio personality, one of the kings of comedy. He wrote a New York Times best-selling book called Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. Act Like a Lady, Think Like a Man. I know y'all are United Holy Church. Y'all don't read them kind of books, but for your cousins and them. Amen. And so I saw Steve Harvey and I had a conversation with him. I told him that his book is filled with bad advice. It's filled with bad advice because it's not telling what kind of man to think like. Y'all not talking back to me. Because you don't want to think like an insecure man. You don't want to think like a threatened man or a petty man. Y'all ain't talking back to me. But you got to think like God's man. And in the book of Genesis, watch this. He said that man ought not be alone. He didn't say all men. But what kind of man was that? This man already had somewhere to live. He had a job. He had a purpose. And he had a prayer life. I can't hear nobody in here. The Lord then put animals in front of him and said, Adam, this is the dominion and the authority I'm giving you. Whatever you call it, that's what it's going to be. Adam said, for real? He said, for real. Whatever you call it, that's what it's going to be. Adam said, that's going to be a hyena. That's going to be a orangutan. That's going to be a raccoon. That's going to be a zebra. That's going to be a lion. That's going to be a cheetah. Watch what happens. God was listening to see whether Adam would call any of the animals wife. All right, y'all, let's slow. Let me see if I can help you here. Before God gives you the real person he has for you, he's got to bring you animals first. So that when you get through the animals, you'll know who the real person is. Oh, I can't find nobody in this world tonight. So act like a lady, think like a Christian man. I want you to get that. Y'all behave. Amen. Be seated. Bishop Love is looking. Please be seated. All right. In my 9 years of pastoring, Bishop, in my 9 years of pastoring, I have not had a more selling ministry series than this one in my head. How to Love a Black Man. How to Love a Black Man. And I did it in our sanctuary, and the sanctuary was toppled over on a Tuesday night for 5 weeks straight. It was busting at the seams. And listen to me, United Holy Church, ladies, this set is for the women of God. It's for the women of God. Every woman of God touch another sister by you and say, you got to get that. You got to get this. Listen, brothers, I'm getting ready to hook y'all up. Y'all thank me after this. I'm getting ready to hook y'all up. Here it is. Every woman in the room, if you're going to love a black man, you're going to have to find out what kind of car you can be. All right? You're going to have to find out what kind of car you're going to be, because the only thing your man going to love more than you is his car. All right, y'all don't believe it? Okay, let me see if I can help you. You figure out whether you're going to be an Escalade. Whether you're going to be an Escalade, because watch this. An Escalade can rise while it's parked. So your job, watch this, is to lift that man even when he ain't going nowhere. Okay, y'all ain't talking back to me. If you're not going to be an Escalade, watch this. If you're not going to be an Escalade, you got to be a navigator. And if you're going to be a navigator, watch this, you got to lead him and make him feel like he's in charge. Okay, y'all don't like that. If you're going to be a navigator, you're going to be a trailblazer. And being a trailblazer, you're a loophole. Even though you don't have a degree, even though your credit is jacked up, if you're going to be with me, you're going to have to go to church. I wish I had somebody in here. But here it is. I hope y'all can handle this in Goldsboro. Don't be so saved. Don't be so saved. Don't be so anointed. Don't be so filled with the tongues that when you get get back home, you forget you're supposed to be a mama. All right. Y'all ain't got to hear me. It's all right. Hear this. All right, Bishop. All right. I don't want to get too carnal. Hear this. George Barna, one of the great statisticians of the postmodern church. George Barna, hear me, Bishop Love, this arrested me and messed me up at the same time. George Barna gave an unruly statistic. He said 80